What I saw was fun, never anything inappropriate. What I saw was work and play at work and fun. Mrs. Cosby was a frequent visitor to the studio. She was there a lot. That's what I saw.
Okay, wait. What in the rerun rewind is really happening with the Cosby Show crew right now? Because honey, Phylicia Rashad just stepped out of her calm queen era and dropped a bomb so loud it practically cracked the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And girl, Tempest Bledsoe? She bled all right. That's Vanessa Huxtable we're talking about. Sweet, smiley Vanessa. But now, sis might have been hiding claws sharper than her cheekbones. But wait, here's the real jaw-dropper. All of this madness popped off just hours before Malcolm Jamal Warner's sudden, tragic, and seriously suspicious death. Yes, hours, not days. Like, is this a coincidence? Or is there something dirtier bubbling beneath all those sitcom smiles and perfectly rehearsed family hugs? People thought they were showing up to a peaceful tribute. What they walked into? Baby. It was a war zone. Side eyes flying, secrets unraveling, and silence getting sliced open with shades so sharp it could cut diamonds. So now everybody's asking, what did Phylicia Rashad know? And why did she wait until the lights were almost off to drag Tempest right into the chaos? Oh, and Malcolm's final words? The whispers say they were ice cold. Cold enough that folks believe he saw something coming. This ain't just a cast reunion with awkward hugs and fake laughs. This is decades of built-up tension finally cracking open like a press-on nail in a fistfight. It's betrayal, baby, and it's personal. So grab your snacks, your coziest throw, maybe even a stress ball, because the tea I'm about to pour, phew, you'll never look at a Cosby Show hug the same again. Let's rewind. Picture this. Phylicia Rashad, TV royalty, class act, unbothered icon, allegedly calling out her TV daughter Tempest Bledsoe just hours before Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away under super shady circumstances. Yes, you heard that right. Hours. And those final words exchanged between castmates? Oof. According to folks in the room, it was more explosive than a Real Housewives reunion where nobody gets muted and everybody forgot their publicists. But baby, this wasn't just petty behind-the-scenes beef. No, this was a full-blown Hollywood meltdown. Less red carpet, more red flags. And trust, word on the street is this tension had been simmering for years. Behind the smiles, insiders say Phylicia had been holding back a volcano of emotion aimed straight at Tempest. Blood or not, the grudge was real. And Tempest? She wasn't just ruffling feathers. Sis was bulldozing trust like it was her parking space. Whispers have circled for years. Diva antics, secret alliances, slick power plays behind the cameras. But nobody expected it to go nuclear like this. Especially not on the same day Malcolm would mysteriously pass. Now here's where it gets downright eerie. Malcolm Jamal Warner was found unresponsive at a Beverly Hills estate. But before that, Phylicia was spotted storming out of a private studio, visibly shaken, right after a closed-door intervention with Tempest and a handful of other Cosby Show cast members. And from what insiders are saying, it was not a kumbaya moment. Somebody leaked audio from that meeting, snatched right off a studio staffer's iPhone. You hear raised voices, uncomfortable silences, and a woman who sounds a lot like Phylicia snapping, and I quote, "You're not flipping this story again, Tempest. I covered for you once, but I'm done biting my tongue." Oh, baby. This was not their first shady showdown. And Phylicia didn't just come with words. She came with receipts, like literal folders. Paper trail style. We're talking old school files straight from the early 90s. One insider, allegedly a PR staffer from back in the day, says those folders had everything. Missing money, career sabotage, manipulation, backstabbing. It was supposed to be a peaceful healing session. What they got? A screaming match with secrets flying out like confetti. And Malcolm? Poor Malcolm. Ever the peacemaker, he tried to calm everyone down, but even he hit his breaking point. Witnesses say he stood up in the middle of the chaos and yelled, "We've been lying to ourselves for decades. This ain't a family, it's a cover-up." But a cover-up of what exactly? That's where things go from messy to scandalous. Online sleuths are digging deep, talking ghost-written memoirs, fake contracts, and a deep-rooted feud between Malcolm and Tempest that allegedly wrecked their friendship years ago. And word is, Phylicia tried for years to keep the peace. But every time she spoke up, execs shut her down. Why? Because they didn't want to risk the squeaky clean Cosby Show legacy. But right before Malcolm died, boom, it all came to a head. An anonymous package reportedly landed in Phylicia's hands. Inside, a USB stick, a stack of handwritten letters, and a dusty black and white VHS tape dated 1993. And baby, what was on that tape? Allegedly footage from a production meeting that blew the lid off everything. According to internet sleuths, the video showed Tempest scheming to launch a spin-off show, behind the rest of the cast's backs, breaking contracts, stepping over careers. If that's even halfway true, it explains everything. Phylicia saw that tape and didn't wait a second. She called for an emergency meeting. No PR, no handlers, just the original Cosby crew, and it exploded. And get this, right before storming out, Malcolm locked eyes with Tempest and said, "You took everything from me. You just never thought the truth would come back to bite you." Then, silence. No one said a word. Just that thick, chilling stillness you feel in your bones. Malcolm walked out, and just a few hours later, he was gone. Cops called it an accidental drowning. But come on. Really? But baby, that accident claim? It hasn't stopped the online detectives from clocking in overtime. TikTok sleuths, Reddit theorists, YouTube expose creators, everyone is asking the same thing. Was Malcolm really alone when he left that studio? Or did someone follow him into those shadows? And get this, some folks believe those fiery words exchanged during that chaotic meeting followed him right into the darkness. Others think there's a whole cover-up happening in real time. People scrambling to bury things that were supposed to stay locked away forever. Meanwhile, Tempest, silent. No tribute, no statement, not even a cryptic RIP tweet. She allegedly ghosted every press event tied to Malcolm's passing, then pulled out of a scheduled podcast appearance just days after everything went boom. Guilt? Shock? Or something else? You tell me. And Phylicia, oh, she's doing what she does best. Publicly poised, sending thoughts and prayers through her rep. But insiders, they're saying she's spiraling behind closed doors, avoiding interviews, ducking the spotlight. And get this, she's allegedly teamed up with a private investigator to get to the bottom of it all. Because let's be real, accident or not, this doesn't smell right. Too many missing pieces, too many people staying quiet. And fans, they're done playing dumb. Social media is in a frenzy. TikTok breakdowns, side-by-side episode comparisons, Reddit threads longer than the Cosby Show's rerun list. People are zooming in on old footage, spotting awkward glances, body language that suddenly looks sus and smiles that now feel fake. That old 1991 talk show clip, the one where Phylicia and Tempest kind of clashed on live TV over professionalism and loyalty? Yeah, it's gone viral again. Back then we thought it was just harmless shade. But now, it's looking like the red flags were waving in our faces all along, and when that final cast meeting ended, only one thing was clear. This Cosby family, baby, it was a fantasy. All for show. Behind the cameras, secrets, grudges, tension that's been simmering since the early 90s, and for Phylicia to wait all these years and finally speak her truth just hours before Malcolm's death, that's not just tea, that's a full detonation. But here's what's got everybody whispering. Why now? Why did Phylicia hold it in for decades, only to drop the bomb right before Malcolm died? And what was Malcolm about to reveal that someone didn't want the world to hear? Now here's where things go full thriller mode. One insider, someone allegedly helping prep the memorial, claims Phylicia lost it backstage. She allegedly shouted, "I warned him about Tempest. I told him she wasn't right." And apparently she screamed that line with everybody around. Grief, guilt, or both. Either way, the timing is icy cold. Another anonymous source close to Malcolm's family came forward and dropped something even heavier. They said Malcolm was preparing to go public, expose someone, just weeks before he died. And according to that source, Malcolm told them, "If anything happens to me, it won't be an accident. I've got enemies in silk gloves." Enemies in silk gloves. Tell me that doesn't sound like the cold open of a true crime documentary. And let's talk about Tempest's behind-the-scenes power play, because word is, she was slowly edging Malcolm out of their shared production company. Not only that, insiders say she convinced him to sign off on shady licensing deals, the kind that handed over rights to his own creative work. But here's the kicker. One leaked document from a hacked inbox allegedly shows Tempest's signature next to a big fat blank where Malcolm's name should have been. Like, excuse me? That's not just messy, that's madness. And Phylicia wasn't the only one blowing whistles. Oh no, several other Cosby alumni who've stayed silent for years are now whispering the same thing. Apparently, Tempest had a rep back in the 90s, sweet-talking execs, flipping storylines, pulling strings to make sure she stayed on top. They're calling her the mastermind in pearls, smiling in your face while rewriting your lines behind your back. And remember, just 3 months before Malcolm's death, Tempest posted a cryptic Instagram photo. She's standing in front of a mirror with the caption, "Reflection is power. Not all masks are ugly." Woo! At the time, people thought it was artsy. Now, it's giving straight-up villain origin story. The vibes are dark, honey. And then there was the funeral. Everybody showed up. Debbie Allen, Raven Simonet, even some of Netflix's new school stars. But what happened inside that church left people speechless. As the service started, a private security team rolled in. Tempest's security team. She reportedly brought bodyguards. Yes, to a funeral. She feared someone might retaliate. Retaliate. Girl, is this a tribute or a mob movie? One guest told reporters that Phylicia refused to speak at the ceremony. Her reason? "I'm not about to lie in front of God." Say what now? That's not shade. That's a solar eclipse. And then, like something out of a Netflix doc, a voicemail surfaces, circulating online like a haunted cassette tape, allegedly from Malcolm, just days before he passed. And in it, he says, "I don't feel safe. If something happens, tell the world I was silenced." Nobody's confirmed it 100%, but AI voice analysis came back at 91% match. That's not a glitch. That's a neon red flag waving in HD. Meanwhile, the internet is on fire. TikTok truthers, Reddit rabbit holes, professionals, YouTube tarot readers. Everyone's spinning theories like it's their full-time job. Some are saying Malcolm and Tempest had a behind-the-scenes battle over creative control. Others claim she was holding on to something big. Old footage maybe, stuff that could ruin reputations. Then you've got the wildest theory of them all, the Hollywood cover-up crowd. Oh, they're loud, they're messy, and they believe Malcolm was working on a tell-all memoir that would have ripped the Cosby Show legacy into pieces. And guess what? Allegedly, some powerful people were willing to do whatever it took to stop that book from ever seeing daylight. And when Tempest stood to speak, Phylicia rose and said, "You have no right to speak on his soul, sit down." And just like that, silence. Even Malcolm's own mother reportedly turned her face away. One shaken guest posted to IG, "I've never seen a funeral wreck people like that. Secrets spilled, tears fell, truth hit like a slap." Because guess what? Malcolm had been working on something else too. A documentary called Behind the Sitcom Smile. Unfiltered, raw. The real truth behind the laughter. And Tempest, she begged him to leave her out of it. She even offered to help fund it if her parts were cut. Malcolm said no, and days later, he was gone. That documentary? Gone too. Hard drives missing, cameras stolen, files wiped after a mysterious break-in 2 days after Malcolm's death. You couldn't script this mess, and if you did, nobody would believe it. So now, we're left with this. A beloved star, gone too soon. A cast drowning in whispers and silence. A legacy that once felt untouchable, now shattered. So you tell me, was this a tragic accident? Or a Hollywood hit job whispered in hushed tones? Because when secrets spill right before someone ends up dead, that ain't just drama, that's a crime scene in couture. And baby, the curtains aren't even all the way down yet.